In today's modern world, where survival is dictated by money, injustice, and social isolation, few characters in Korean television have left as strong an impression as Seong Ji-hun, player number 456 in the global hit Squid Game. He is a miniature reflection of millions living at the bottom of society, impoverished, unemployed, abandoned, and no longer able to believe in themselves. But what makes Seong Ji-hun compelling is not his tragic background, but his inner transformation from a helpless passive man to someone who stands up against an inhumane system. In this essay, we will explore Ji-hun's evolution through psychological, social, and cultural symbolic lenses. Seong Ji-hun, the embodiment of failure in modern society, unstable background, and a worn-out life. From the first scenes of the series, Seong Ji-hun is portrayed as a failed middle-aged man, unemployed, living off his aging mother, and frequently borrowing money to gamble. He once had a wife and daughter, but due to his irresponsibility and downfall, he lost custody, and his wife remarried. Ji-hun has no clear direction in life. His days are a loop of evasion, debt, and gambling, clinging to a faint hope of changing his fate. But again and again, he fails, not only in games of chance, but in his duties as a father, son, and responsible adult. Left behind by society, Ji-hun is not a lone anomaly. He represents the lower working class discarded by the capitalist system. In modern South Korea, a society known for its intense pressure and growing wealth gap, characters like Ji-hun are common, stuck between social expectations and harsh realities. His desperation even leads him to sign a contract agreeing to sell his organs for debt repayment, a chilling illustration of the extreme despair faced by the poor. And when he's introduced to Squid Game, he joins not by force but willingly, because outside that deadly game, he has no real chance of survival. The deadly game, opportunity or trap? Meh. Choosing to enter the spiral app. The recruitment process for Squid Game doesn't involve kidnapping or coercion. Instead, victims voluntarily sign up and agree to participate. This point is central to the show's philosophical depth. The desperate are willing to gamble their lives for a chance to change their fate. After the first game, red light, green light, where hundreds are gunned down in minutes, Ji-hun, like many others, chooses to leave. But back in the real world, he faces brutal truths. His mother is gravely ill, his daughter is about to move abroad, and his debts remain. With nowhere else to turn, he returns to the game, now more survivable than reality. Number 456. Symbolic significance. Ji-hun is assigned number 456, the last player selected. This is no random number. In the show's structure, 456 signifies the very bottom of the social ladder. But the fact that the last number is the final survivor serves as a metaphor for human potential to rise from the depths, if one preserves their inner goodness in the face of cruelty. Psychological transformation in each game round. Red light, green light, the first shock. This was the opening game, and the moment that plunged both viewers and Ji-hun into horror. The sight of players being gunned down for moving left Ji-hun shaken and terrified. As he stumbled, it was another player, Ali, who saved him from falling and being killed. That moment not only spared Ji-hun's life, but also hinted at the unexpected bonds forming among strangers in the face of death. The later games, courage and humanity. Each game in Squid Game doesn't just test physical ability or intellect, but is an ultimate trial of humanity and survival instinct. For Ji-hun, every round marks a painful yet enlightening step in his emotional growth. Dalgona candy, adaptability and creative thinking. At first glance, this seems like the simplest game. Carve a shape out of sugar candy without breaking it. But the tension is immense. One mistake means death. Ji-hun draws the umbrella, the hardest shape, and appears doomed. But instead of panicking, he observes the cracks and invents a trick, licking the back of the candy to soften it and ease the separation. This is his first demonstration of survival, not through luck but intelligence, a critical trait for anyone cornered by life. Tug of war, strategy, and the power of belief. Ji-hun's team faces a clear disadvantage. The opposing team is stronger and all-male. But with Ilmam's wartime experience and clever tactics, they overturn the odds. More importantly, Ji-hun doesn't panic or give up. He trusts his teammates and inspires confidence, especially in the two women often seen as weak. This game reveals his shift into a team leader, someone who draws strength from collective spirit rather than solitary survival. Marble Game, the tragedy of choice. This emotionally heavy round pairs Ji-hun with Il-nam, the old man he deeply respects. Ji-hun is torn. He doesn't want to deceive or win by betrayal. But in the end, Il-nam feigns dementia and allows Ji-hun to win. Il-nam bears no grudge. Instead, he uses the game to test human decency. This moment lays bare Ji-hun's deepest moral dilemma: life versus humanity. He moves forward because someone sacrificed for him, and he carries that guilt through the rest of his journey. Glass Bridge, trust and survival instinct. In this terrifying game, players must jump across fragile glass panels. Here, Ji-hun can no longer rely on strategy or goodness, only raw instinct. Yet even when pushed to the brink, he refuses to trample over others to survive. He waits for the player with the knowledge to distinguish tempered glass and moves cautiously. His respect for others' lives, even in mortal danger, sets him apart from most players. With each round, Ji-hun evolves in survival skills, but also holds onto his moral core in a dehumanizing system. He doesn't become ruthless like Sang-woo or surrender like others. He walks away from each test carrying another scar, but also a deeper understanding of trust, humanity, and how to live with dignity, even as the world collapses around him. Relationships, reflections of Ji-hun's character. Cho Sang-woo, old friend, ultimate rival. Sang-woo is Ji-hun's childhood friend, once a top student, successful and admired. But in the game, he turns cold and calculative, willing to betray to survive. Their relationship becomes a moral battleground: ethics versus logic, compassion versus survival. When Sang-woo kills Sebyuk, Ji-hun is devastated, but still refuses to kill him. Instead, he begs to end the game together. When Sang-woo kills himself, it's an admission that he is lost morally, a final acknowledgement of Ji-hun's humanity. Kang Sebyuk, empathy and hope. Amid the horror, Ji-hun finds in Sebyuk a kindred spirit, tough yet wounded. He cares for her when injured, and promises to look after her brother if she dies. Their bond is wordless, not romantic or cliché, just mutual trust in the darkest times. Her death is one of the biggest emotional blows, pushing Ji-hun to his ethical limit. Ending: winning but losing himself. Survival without peace. Ji-hun is the sole winner. But instead of rejoicing, he doesn't touch the prize money for a year, living like a ghost. His mother has died, friends are gone, and peace eludes him. This underscores the show's core message: money cannot heal a shattered conscience, and survival doesn't equal a meaningful life. Turning back, the reluctant hero. About to leave Korea to reunite with his daughter, Ji-hun turns around. He calls the Squid Game organizers and vows to expose the truth. This is his transformation from victim to resistor. He's not a grand hero, but someone who dares to say no and confront rather than flee, and that's what makes him extraordinary. Ji-hun, a new type of hero in Korean television. In cinematic culture, heroes are often strong, fearless, decisive. But Seong Ji-hun is the opposite: weak, scared, at times broken, but morally grounded. He is a reluctant hero, not seeking fame or glory, just trying to do what's right in a world gone wrong. That's what makes him so relatable to audiences worldwide. Seong Ji-hun is neither the strongest, smartest, nor most skilled, but he is the most steadfast in holding on to his humanity, even when everything else is falling apart. From a failed father, he becomes a symbol of hope, proving that even in the most unjust, brutal, and dehumanizing world, people can still choose to be kind. And in a world run by the games of money, that kindness is the most powerful form of rebellion.